The U.S. is sending at least 3,000 soldiers to the Middle East as the Pentagon prepares for potential reaction from Iran. CBS News national security correspondent David Martin joins me now. David, what can you tell us? What's the latest here?
Well, both sides are making threats, and both sides have increased the alert level of their forces, including in Iran's case, its ballistic missiles. So this is a recipe for miscalculation, but the Trump administration insists it is having no second thoughts about killing Soleimani when it had the chance.
We made the right decision to take out this terrorist.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo watched the Thursday night strike at the Pentagon along with Defense Secretary Mark Esper and Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley. And he is now the administration's chief spokesman defending it, appearing on all the Sunday talk shows.
He not only caused enormous death and destruction throughout the region, killed hundreds of Americans over the years, but had done so in the past couple of days.
CBS News has learned some military commanders were not in favor of killing Soleimani on the grounds Iran would feel compelled by its national honor to strike back, making the war nobody wants more likely. Democrats are making a similar argument.
We do not generally execute high-level political figures of sovereign nations, in part because we know that that opens a Pandora's box that may expose American officials to assassination, but also because we know that ultimately that might get more Americans killed.
The U.S. has more than enough firepower, both at sea and at air bases, to make good on President Trump's threat to strike 52 targets, including Iranian cultural sites.
This is bigger than bin Laden. It's bigger than Baghdadi. This is the equivalent in U.S. terms of the CIA director, CENTCOM commander, JSOC commander, and presidential envoy for the region for Iran.
But former CIA director and Mideast commander David Petraeus says the U.S. needs a plan to decrease tensions.
Will there be a diplomatic initiative that says, okay, look, this is not headed in a good direction. We truly do want to de-escalate. Everyone is going to lose if this continues to ratchet upward.
All right, David, we know that Iran has significant military capabilities. We know that Iran has relationships and has made inroads with various militias and groups throughout the entire region. What exactly are the capabilities of Iran when it comes to attacking U.S. forces or interests?
Well, if you look at the military capabilities of Iran proper, Iran the country, the most worrisome thing is their ballistic missiles. They have, according to the Defense Intelligence Agency, the largest ballistic missile force in the Middle East. They have ranges on those missiles that can reach as far as Israel, ranges that can certainly reach across the Persian Gulf to bases where U.S. aircraft are located. And what makes them so worrisome, of course, is the very, very short flight time of a ballistic missile going across the Persian Gulf. It would just be a matter of minutes from launch time to detonation time. Now, many of these Iranian missiles are very old and not considered to be very accurate. And every time the U.S. Puts forces into the Persian Gulf, it also puts in air defenses to protect those forces from missile attack. But what is worrisome right now is that the Iranians have increased the alert level of those ballistic missiles, and that puts everybody on a bit of a razor's edge, looking for indications of the beginning of some sort of countdown.
So Soleimani, a major military figure for Iran, what is the likelihood that if Iran chooses to retaliate, they would target another military figure or something of military significance to the United States, or go beyond that and attack civilians?
Well, some of their commanders have said just in the past couple of days that the retaliation will be against the U.S. military. And of course, it was the U.S. military that killed Soleimani. And if you look at Iran's history, the single worst disaster to befall the U.S. military in all the years I've been over here at the Pentagon was a suicide bombing of the U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut, Lebanon in 1983 in which 242 Americans were killed. Now, that was carried out by Hezbollah, which is one of Iran's many proxies in the Middle East. So they have capabilities, their own military capabilities, which I should say are far outweighed by U.S. military capabilities. But then they also have this ability, which they have demonstrated over the years, to conduct terrorist attacks which have devastating effects.
All right, David Martin, thank you so much.
Sure thing.